Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is control and coordination, we were talking about the smallest unit of our nervous system and which is called as neuron. You see students, we have seen the structure as well as the function of the different parts of the neuron. Neuron is what? It is considered to be the largest cell of all the different types of a cell. It is the largest cell. And the reason of calling it a larger cell, that since it helps in taking the information from one cell to the another, and finally it reaches to the brain, and to carry the information over a large distances, they are elongated cell or they are the largest cell. Now, if we come to the neuron, you will find that its structure is basically consisting of three different components. First, cell body, then dendrites, finally axon is there. What is the cell body? So cell body, like the cell, like animal cell, all the different types of animal cell, which basically consisting of a cytoplasm or which consisting of the nucleus in it, the same way the cell body of the nerve cell also there, consisting of cytoplasm, then cytoplasm is there and a nucleus is also present in it. You will find that through the cell body there are a lot of thin fibers which comes out, thin wire like a structure of thin fibers which comes out, and these thin small fibers are called as dendrites. What is the role of a dendrite? Dendrite usually take the information from the receptors, okay, in the form of electrical impulses. So their role is to take the information in the form of electrical impulses. Now through the cell body itself, a large fiber elongated came out, and that large fiber, it is covered with the protective sheath which is called as myelin sheath, and this is called as axon. So we can say here that the cell body, it is responsible for giving rise to dendrites as well as axon. Both of them arises from the cell body itself. Now these axons finally reaches to form the nerve ending. So sorry student. So this is the structure of the neuron. Talking about the neuron, there are three different types of a neuron are there. First one is the sensory neuron. This is a neuron which used to take the information from the sense organ to the brain and the spinal cord. Then motor neuron is there. This is also a kind of a neuron which used to take the information from the brain and spinal cord and reaches to the effector like that of the muscle cells, where the response process can occur. That's why the muscle cells, these are called as effectors also. Another kind of a neuron student, and that is called as relay neuron. And the role of a relay neuron, that it is the connecting link between the neuron, and it is basically present in the spinal cord or the brain. So you can say here that the sensory neuron first of all connected to the relay neuron, and then the relay neuron carry the information to the brain and spinal cord. Now this information again goes to the relay neuron and it connected to the motor neuron, and motor neuron gives the response, take the information to the effector, and effector used to respond accordingly. So this is how the process of the stimulus and the response occur in case of the nervous system. Now question arises that okay, this we have understood that the neuron used to carry or the information, but how this process of information is being transferred from one neuron to the other neuron? Before we go, let me tell you that all the neurons, they are not tightly connected with each other. They do not touch each other, but actually there is a small gap is present in each of the neuron. And this small gap is called as synapse. So let me write it here, that is the neurons the two neurons do not join together. Okay? Do not join completely to each other. Completely to each other. Okay? These are not joined completely to each other, but there is a gap between the two neurons. So we can say here that two neurons, that they are not joined completely to each other, but there is a gap which is called as synapse. Which is called as synapse. Okay. Now the question arises that even though a gap is there, so how the synapse help in connecting the two neurons together? Okay, so question here is that even the gap, or we can say even the presence of synapse, how the process of conduction of information occur. So basically it occurs due to the release of a chemical substance. Okay? Due to the release of a chemical substance which is called as neurotransmitter. Which is called as neurotransmitter. So it is because of the presence of this neurotransmitter that will help in filling the gap, that will help in taking the information from the one neuron to the other neuron, students. Okay, now let us try to understand it with the help of two nerve cells. Suppose the nerve cell A is there and a B. So how the information passes from the, or how the information crosses from the one neuron to the other neuron. So we can write here, that is, suppose the receptor in a sense organ is touched with dendrite, is touched with dendrites, is touch it with dendrites of sensory neuron, of a sensory neuron. So when the stimulus is there, when the stimulus acts on the receptor, then a chemical substance is released by the stimulus. Which is converted to the electric impulse, to an electric impulse by the receptor, and this impulses will reaches to the dendrite of nerve A, to the dendrite of nerve A. From there, it reaches to the ending of nerve A and crosses the gap, and reaches to nerve B. Okay, so receptor in the sense organ, suppose if it is in a touch to the sensory neuron, what happen if any stimulus act on, then the receptors it will respond, and it will the stimulus will releases the chemical substances which will be converted into electrical impulses by the receptor, and this electrical impulses is now get transferred to nerve A. Nerve A, the dendrite is there, the dendrite receive the electrical impulse, it will reaches to cell body. From the cell body, it will reaches to the axon and the nerve ending. Now, at the nerve ending, it crosses the gap which is present between the two neuron and reaches to nerve B. So, how does it happen, students? Basically, in this case, when it reaches to the ending, we can write here that when it reaches to the ending of nerve A, it starts releasing a chemical substance which will be converted into electrical impulses by nerve B, and this is having the same kind of a nerve impulses as a nerve A have, which gets converted to the electrical impulses by the nerve B, electrical impulses by the nerve B, and this impulse is similar to the impulse of nerve A. So this is how the transfer of the information in the form of electrical impulses occur from nerve A to nerve B. Okay. So this is how the transfer of the impulses occur. Now let us try to understand with the help of a diagram, student. So suppose this is the axon. This is the axon. Here what happened? This is what? This is axon. Here, suppose this will be the dendrite of the other nerve cell. Okay. So, if this is A and if this is B. Now, here sensory neuron is going on. Axon of sensory neuron. Okay, this is what? This is the end of the axon. End of axon of sensory neuron. Sensory neuron. This is what? These arrows are actually the electrical impulses. Electrical impulses of the neuron. And this one is what? This is the axon of sensory neuron. This is the end of the axon of sensory neuron. This is the axon of sensory neuron, and this is the electrical impulse. The second one is, the students, that is here. So this is what? These are the chemicals which is releasing. Chemical substance released. Chemical substance released here. And now what happened? This is what, student? These are the electrical impulses generated. And this one is what? This is the dendrite of second neuron. This is the dendrite of second neuron. So, as you can see here, what happens? I am rubbing the last line so that we can see the diagram easily. As you can see here, students, what happens here? You can see when the electrical impulses of an axon of a nerve A reaches to the ending of the nerve A, then here it consisting of a chemical substances in it. There are a lot of chemical substances which is present here, and these chemical substances starts releasing through the gaps. Okay, because you can see here that between dendrites and between axon there is a small gap is present. So these chemicals are released in the gaps, and then it will be released with the help of the these chemicals. will again enter into the second neuron, and here it get converted into electrical impulses, and these electrical impulses are the same as you can see in case of a nerve A. Okay, so this is how the movement of the electrical impulses occur from the nerve A to nerve B, even though there is a small gap between the nerve cells. So whenever the question is there, you will always write that how the synapses, it help in the movement, with the help of a neurotransmitter. Now, the movement of the electrical impulses in case of a synapse, that is one-way movement, because here the chemicals which is released, it is only in one direction. That is why the movement occur only in one direction. So we can say here synapse acts like one-way, one-way valves. Synapse act like one-way valves, and the reason is, since the chemical substance is present only in one direction. So the movement of the impulses also occur in one direction only. So the movement also occurs only in one direction. So this is how the movement of the impulses occur, students. The synapses, actually it ensures that the movement of the information, movement of the electrical impulses can only take place in one direction. Now let us see that what are the different organ of the human nervous system. We said that there are sense organ, but instead these are sense organs are what they are the you can say it's a kind of a helping. They are the receptors which help or which is used to take part in this process, but the main part is different, and the main part it include brain, it includes spinal cord, as well as it include the nerves. So brain and spinal cord are responsible for giving the information, means it help us to give the information how to react according to the stimulus, and the nerves used to carry the information from the brain to the brain and spinal cord to the effectors. So let us see that what are the different parts of the main part of the nervous system. Okay. So let us see the organs of the human nervous system. Organs of human nervous system, students. What are the different organs of a human nervous system? So the main organs are students, the first one is the brain, then spinal cord, and then nerves. These are what? These are the some of the main part of the human nervous system. Although we will going to study all of them one by one in detail, but here we will understand here what is the brain, student. It is located inside the skull of the head. You know that skull is what? It is the hard protective covering which is present around the brain, and brain is what? Which is a very delicate organ. So we can say that it is located inside the cell. inside the skull, sorry, inside the skull of the head. Okay, it is present inside the skull of the head. Spinal cord is what? This is the very thick nerve which came out through the brain. Very thick nerve. It is a very thick nerve which run inside the cavity of backbone, which runs inside the cavity of backbone, runs inside the cavity of backbone. The upper end is attached to the brain. The upper end is attached to the brain. Okay, so brain located inside the skull of the head. Spinal cord, it arises from the, and spinal cord is where it is a thick nerve which run inside the cavity of the backbone. There are, from the brain and the spinal cord, there are million of nerves which came outside, but the main nerve is the two different types of a nerve, that is cranial nerve, and the second one is the spinal nerve. So if we will see the nerves which came out through the brain and the spinal cord, student, that is cranial and cranial nerve is there and spinal nerve is there. Although there is another kind of a nerve is also there, which is called as visceral nerve. So two main type of nerve is cranial and spinal nerve. Cranial and spinal nerve. Talking about the cranial nerve, students, so the cranial nerve connect all the parts of the body, all the parts in the head, all the parts in the head directly to the brain. Head directly to the brain. While spinal nerve connect all the remaining part, connects all the remaining parts of the body to the spinal cord, of the body to the spinal cord. Another kind of a nerve which is called as visceral nerve is also there, and this visceral nerve it generally connect all the internal organs of the body to the spinal cord. Connects all the internal organs to the brain, to the spinal cord, and some of them are also connected to the brain. So, through to the spinal cord and some of them connected to the brain. Okay, so the three main type of a nerve is there too. That is cranial nerve, spinal nerve and visceral nerve. Cranial nerve used to connect all the things to the brain. Cranium, you have heard about the term cranium. Spinal, the term came from spines, spinal cord. So it is connected to spinal cord. And visceral, which is related to the delicate organ, that is the internal organ are connected to the brain or to the spinal cord.